Okay, well, welcome back to video 2 as we begin the ARC method of what the ARC method stands for. So we're in A, a nice place to start. A is for awareness. Awareness. If we are not aware of it, guess what? We don't know it exists. And that goes for just about anything, right? So if you are not aware that there is an issue going on, or that somebody thinks something about you, or that, even about the weather, if it doesn't matter what it is, if you are not aware about it, then you really don't have an ability or the access to do anything about it because it's just not in your awareness. So, um, unfortunately, we go around a lot, I guess you would say, unaware, right? Or unconscious. We're almost like walking around in a fog of sorts and not even really aware of what is happening, not only around us, but within ourselves, in our own selves, in our minds, in our bodies, in our our thoughts, our actions. It's really kind of incredible, being on this journey of becoming aware of how much I wasn't aware about. So, um, awareness is, I know I said that the breath is key because it's just instrumental. You just need that throughout. But really, that's why ARC begins with awareness, is because that's where it begins. You have to be aware of it. And using the breath gives you that present moment consciousness to bring awareness to the present moment, because that's where everything is existing and happening for you, is in the present moment. Okay. So the awareness piece in the ARC method does get quite a bit of airtime, if you will, when I go through this in the one-on-one mentoring of it, because there's lots of pieces of the awareness, and that's something I didn't even realize or become aware of until later, of seeing everything and all these layers of awareness. Okay, for myself, and then again when we were doing all the therapies and the coaching stuff for our kiddo Jess, and realizing just how much more I had to be aware of, not only for him and what may be going on with him, but then also how what was going on with him was, had its effect on me, and how I was, looking at those things. So that's the thing. Okay, so let's get back. Awareness is being aware of your thoughts, that many times the way we're thinking about something shapes our experience of it. Okay. So if we're thinking that, what in the hell are they having such a problem with? Why can't they just sit down and do it? Okay. Could be your kid with homework, could be a person at work that you've asked, I don't know how many times for, one piece of information, or for them to do something. And it's like, why can't they? So you make up a story about it. Okay. And you have a way that you're thinking about them, without you even noticing or realizing it. You are making thoughts and stories up in your head about the whole thing. So it's really bringing awareness. What am I thinking right now about this situation? Not only that, what am I feeling? Okay. And I'm feeling in two ways. There's feeling your feelings and the emotions you're having, is like realizing that that might be, one of those responses, one of those reactions that you're having to what's going on around you. Okay. So again, taking myself as an example, our kiddo, Jesse would, you know, great propensity for lying to get out of a situation. And if I had actually even seen him, it was already enough when I knew what the truth was. But if I saw him actually do something and then he was trying to tell me he didn't do it, that would bring such a rage inside of me. I could literally feel like, I was holding my breath. I was like, I could feel my heart beating. I could just like feel, my blood pressure like soaring. It was just, and all I could, the things that were going on in my head, which were not very nice, that I wanted to say or do. That's all of what that's bringing awareness to the emotions, the feelings that's going on. And so the next step too is watching, as I had just mentioned, there's physical reactions that happen inside of you. Okay. Um, of a lot of the things, again, having read, studied, and done in therapies as well is, and Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. Okay. It is total, again, fact. Okay. Fact that the things that have happened to us, the traumatic things that have happened to us in our lives, uh, do get stored in our body. Okay. And if you think about it, your flight or fight is either like you're going to, get the hell out of there, and go, and your, you know, heart's beating and everything, adrenaline's rushing, or it becomes the, stuck in fear, right? It's like totally just freeze. And they say flight, fight, or freeze. It's kind of a third one because you just stay there, right? And or the wanting to fight somebody because they pissed you off and now you want to punch them in the throat, right? So all these things happen and you can feel them in your body. Well, what does happen is those things get stored in you that many times your body is reacting before you're even aware of what's going on. Okay. So I had a lady that I was mentoring, and she was like letting me know about this one guy at work, and she just couldn't figure out why, when he came by her desk and talked to her, she would be left with this like, feeling and just like, well, when we worked together more often, she was realizing that he was bringing up a lot of a lot of triggers and feelings that she had with her father. Okay. This was an older gentleman too. And he kind of looked, down at her because she was a woman. She was much younger, had done the whole, oh, you went to college. Now you think you know everything. You haven't been here as long as I have. And just kind of demeaning and, not, not giving her any credit for what she did know and the experience that she did have. And she realized when we were doing this about these triggers and the feelings and stuff and going into it, that was like, oh my God, he reminds me of my dad. It makes so much sense now, and it's like, light bulb moment. So that arms you with being ready and doing some of that conscious breathing before you get there. And a lot of the things that we talk about in the awareness. So awareness also is recognizing those signs, but it's also recognizing to, you know what? Let me just go over an outline that I use for um, for again my clients when we come through with it. But we're only going to touch on two in this because this is just an abbreviated version for you to take away something that you can do for yourselves real quick. Okay, so let's see. Oh, you know what? That was a boo boo. I was supposed to share screen first. Bear with me. I'm so sorry. And then I thought I could try to, you know, get past it, but I can't do that and share and present. It's kind of weird. Maybe there is a way. I just don't know it yet. I'm not aware of it. So, so the awareness principles that we do go over that should you want to continue uh, working with me on a one-on-one basis, we go into more depth of the being in the now, which I will cover because I'm going to use the breath because that's where that comes straight into being in the now. Okay, the present moment. All right, because the present moment awareness, being here now, that's where everything exists. Okay, recognizing the signs is that next part, and that is pretty lengthy. Okay, that's knowing our triggers, the topics that we kind of want to avoid, that we don't like talking about. Figure out what's your hook, like what is that thing, that little worm that they can always put on it, and they got you. They get you every single time. It's knowing what your hook is. Okay, what do they dangle? That is that thing that gets you going. So being aware of what that is helps greatly. Getting yourself prepared in a positive way. Okay. We talk about that. So again, once you know what your hook is, when you know your triggers and topics and even environments that you go into, it's like getting yourself prepared in a positive way, not a, oh gosh, I got to go do that, or stuff. It's actually getting prepared positively. Okay. We go back to, as you see, the stop, zip it, and breathe, because once you become aware of your reactions and stuff, that's that moment where you got to put the breath into action. So again, we'll talk about that. And self-check is a huge thing. That does take a lot of time too. It's, to summarize, it's like really checking in with yourself, doing self-inquiry as to what am I feeling? What are my thoughts? What are my emotions? Okay. and to check those things if they're actually real. And then body awareness, which we're going to do in this one because I think it's a good one to do. And again, it's, where in your body do you feel it? It's actually kind of telling you. And so one of the little bonuses I'm throwing in this is a body scan because also having been um, in healthcare as long as I have found that so many people are disassociated with their body. Again, a lot of your wounds and, you know, traumas and things get held in your body and you learn how to just basically shut it off. And people don't really get, I don't want to say trained, but get taught how to tune into their body. And so many times people would be on our, again, being an x-ray and whatnot. So where's it hurt? Well, my whole arm hurts. Well, where specifically in your arm? Oh, my arm. Okay, well, your arm is pretty long. Can you tell me exactly where? And sometimes trying to get that out. And then, okay, where? All right, now, what kind of pain is it? Well, it hurts. All right, well, is it stabbing pain? Is it sharp pain? Is it throbbing? Is it, and you're like putting out these things to get them to think of like, what is the pain? Is it constant? Is it burning? Is it, yeah. So people really are disconnected by their body. And it's a shame because, the less connected you are with the body, the less you're able to hear because your body is actually a cool indicator of what is going on for you and can help you, as you'll see. And so let's see, I'm going to go real quick to just the part about the body scan. And because we talked about the breathing already. Again, bearing with me here. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad this isn't live. And thank you for being patient. See, I'm breathing in myself. So share screen. Here we are. This is the page I want to do. And ba da da ba 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 da ba. All right. So we're just going to do two screens here in the awareness part. So again, I said bringing that awareness, carrying on from the conscious breath. The conscious breath not only gets us calmed down, but it brings us to present moment, right? Being here now. So here we go again. Thich Nhat Hanh, so grateful for him. We are not very good at preparing to live, but we are very good at preparing to live, sorry, but not very good at living. We know how to sacrifice 10 years for a diploma, and we are willing to work very hard to get a job, a car, a house, and so on, right? But we have difficulty remembering that we are alive in the present moment, the only moment that there is for us to be alive. Pretty deep, simple and deep, right? Dr. Wayne Dyer, love him to death. He's a great one too. Listened to him since back in the day in PBS. Present moment living, getting in touch with your now, is at the heart of effective living. Okay. When you think about it, there really is no other moment that you can live. Okay. Because now is all there is. The future is just another present moment to live when it arrives, right? And the past is already gone. Can't go back there. Can't do anything about it. Okay. And then Eckhart Tolle, once again, coming back to him, how to be at peace now by making peace with the present moment. The present moment is the field on which the game of life happens. It cannot happen anywhere else. So just feeling that, right? And sometimes, yeah, I'll have moments where I'm just not even sure like what to do next because there's so many things on the to-do list, right? And I'm just like, what? Just taking a moment and just stopping and breathing and then feeling into yourself, in your body. Where am I? Where is that? Where is that? Okay. And yeah, ask yourself, how often would you say you're living in the now? Mm. And it's kind of scary when you start to look at it, because if you did a little meditation, like decided even just for an hour to see how often are you being in the now, or you're like switching up to thinking about the future, or now you're thinking about something in the past, how many times, if you really try to put that attention on it, the conscious awareness of, am I being here now? You'll see how many times you're not. It's pretty crazy. All right, so we're going to talk about the body scan because I think that's like Really important, like I said, and something I'm going to give a bonus on, and how to do a bit body scan meditation and such. And but you can be doing body scans while you're just, you know, when you're in the moment, when you're feeling triggered, maybe before you know you're going to enter something, right? So your emotions get stored in your body and are indicators of flight or fight response, right? And then there's the freeze as well. So listen to your body and feel where your tension is. And it does help to close your eyes when you're doing that and you're feeling. And and the body scan is your breathing and you're tuning into your body. So doing a body scan is sort of like going, you can either start from the top, start from your head and work yourself down, like just breathing into each part of that and going down and feeling like where that tension is, right? Or you can start from the feet and going up. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. But going scattered all over the place, that doesn't work. Okay. You could be breathing and when you get really good at this, you can feel just by taking a couple breaths where it is you're feeling, because you've done the body scan enough times to like kind of have a baseline, like know where your body is, to know like what's out of whack. Okay. So another thing that I've shared in the webinar and with my clients is that this is a great exercise to do right at the beginning and end of your day. So it's another way to call it a meditation, if you will. Okay. And it's an easy one to do. Right. 2 minutes, 5 minutes to do. So you wake up in the morning and you're laying in bed, right? I always start the morning with like saying, thank you for breathing me and beating my heart, but again, another never before lived day. Nice way to start the day is with gratitude. Okay. Um, Ruben, my king cortisone, give him a kiss and, just think that I have somebody that I love so very much and who loves me as well. And give him thanks as well and share that gratitude with him. All right. But while you're laying there in your bed, feeling it all nice and warm and being thankful for your warm bed, the roof over your head, keeping your belly fed, right? You can start doing your breathing meditation, your breathing or body scan, if you want to call it. Okay. And again, you're breathing in, starting from your toes or your head, working yourself to the opposite side. So just breathing into each of those parts. Breathing into your feet, feel your toes. You can wiggle them too, so that you start to get this conscious awareness of the body part, thinking it, breathing into that part, feeling that part, maybe moving it a little, and then feeling it, feeling each side too. Does one feel more tense than the other? Is there pain in each part? And you know what? While you're doing that breathing meditation, you could actually be saying thank you to your body, like, thanks, feet, for you're constant like moving me around, holding me up, getting me to and from, same with your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, and so while you're breathing and again practicing gratitude, which is such a high vibration and just shifts everything. And guess what? How often do you thank your body for everything it does every day, right? So showing some gratitude there, because whatever gets appreciated appreciates back. So again, you can do that then at the end of the night. And when you're laying in bed, doing a body scan as well, feeling yourself, it helps to get yourself ready for bed too, because you're breathing into every part of your body and relaxing and whatnot. And if you have chronic pain, I've had real long bouts of chronic pain. It's a good thing to do because it gives you a good indicator at the beginning and the end of the day, like what is going on with my body, right? Because again, we tune out, especially when we have chronic pain, we learn just to live with it. Okay, this is what baseline is, which is kind of sad to say, right? So you just learn to live with it's always throbbing. And now I've learned to shut it out, so that then you're not even really sure when it's hurting or it's not hurting. Okay. So the body scan is really useful for that too. If you have chronic pain or flare-ups, to check where you are at, because then at the end of the day, you could start to sense, hey, you know what? That's actually a lot more tighter in that area. I don't remember that this morning. I was not feeling that way this morning. So it's helping you get in tune with your body as well. You need to put some balm on that, or use a TENS machine or something, or a foam roller, heating pad, right? So to take care of it instead of waiting till it becomes a, you know, really elevated problem. So some of the things that indicate that you're having a reaction, a bodily reaction, is holding your breath. Your jaws are clenched, right? Somebody's saying something and your jaws are just so clenched. you're grinding your teeth. This even happens for people at night. I know for years I had to wear a mouth guard because I was grinding my teeth and like just waking up with these horrible headaches, right? So, and there we go, headache that goes from all of those things. Um, Sometimes somebody's saying something to you, or you need to say something and you feel your throat is completely restricted. That's happened to me, and it feels like a tortilla chip got like stuck in there sideways. Like you're really unable to speak, like you honestly can't speak. You know, this is one of mine too. The shoulders start getting all the way up to your ears, right? Um, your eye might be starting to twitch, or you have some other muscle that's twitching. Your chest, you just feel it like so tight or so heavy, right? You're just like an elephant sitting on it or something, or just a constricted. Your heart rate increases. Again, people with tummy issues. Oh my gosh, my stomach just feels so knotted, so upset, right? Or you feel like I've had this. I get some news and it just feels like I got punched in the stomach. Wind got knocked out of me, right? And even that nauseous feeling, I felt like that. It's just like, oh my God, thinking about some things that are happening and just really getting you sick to your stomach, clenched fists. That's a good indicator. Locked knees, like you're just standing up and you're locking your knees, is a whole nother thing. This is one I didn't even realize I was having until I went to the podiatrist for some foot pain. Is like your toes are just like grabbing the ground and you're just like clenching it, right? So these are all things that lead you to know, hey, when you start doing body scans, when you start like listening to your body and tuning in, it's like, oh geez, you know, something's going on. What's going on with me? And it's a time to just do some breaths and close your eyes if you can. Maybe excuse yourself or go find a place where you can have quiet time. You got a cubicle or something, you can do that. Sometimes, yes, you do have to go to the bathroom and go in the stall to have a moment or go outside. Who knows? You can find a way, right? You can find a way to make the time to just tune in with the breath and feel like what's going on. Okay. And then again, it can be in your car too when you're feeling like this and you're like, God, I'm getting so upset with the traffic. Like it's not helping me. I'm not going to go any faster. Do some breaths and some smiles and turn on the music. All right. So I will have, as I said, a bonus of a body scan in here that I'll lead you through. And I'll have some other links to other people that do it a lot better than I do, or a lot, maybe more elaborate and whatnot. I don't want to say, let's get out of the comparison thing, right? So, yeah, that's about awareness. And again, there's much more to it. But for sake of brevity and this tiny little mini course, I'm just going to concentrate on the present moment awareness, which is done with the breath, and then doing that body scan, which is also being done with the breath to go all the way through. Okay. If you want to learn more about all the other stuff about the self inquiry and what are my thoughts and what are this, that's going to definitely have to be one on one work because that cannot be covered here. Okay. But that's a good place to begin that you can do on your own. Okay. And I highly suggest that you start practicing that. Yeah, a little bit every day whenever you catch those things. Okay. They're good indicators when your body is speaking to you to let you know something's up. All right. All right. Well, we'll see you in the next one. All right. Cheers.